Alrighty. Getting my heated longies on. Let me just plug me in and turn on me switch. Okay. We got heat. Alright. Ride motorcycle, ride in winter. You'll have heated longies on. As you see with my motorcycle helmet. Okay. Alright, so back to an episode of Hot Wheels. I forget what episode we're on. Could be 15, I think. I'm not sure anymore. But let's just start from episode. And we'll not do a number. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Harold and Dan's Toy Collection. And haven't done one in a little while. We've been going through hundreds and hundreds of boxes. Lots of Hot Wheels. I figure, 600 cases, 72 in each. Yeah, that's a lot of Hot Wheels. And that's just Hot Wheels. I mean, if you want to do die casts in total, 150,000, maybe. I mean, with Johnny Lightning's, race champions, starting lineups. I mean, Matchbox. I think there's Jadas. Remember the old Jadas? As far as diecast there's a vast amount. There's a lot. Eventually, over time, we'll get to these. I'm going to just do these Hot Wheels right now. I started the first episode off with this car here. This is the white interior Chevelle. Now, I had a discussion with somebody over this car, and they answered correctly. It's something we started a long time ago. We had vendor problems. You started to collect Hot Wheels in '93. You were up on Long Island. You were up against a wall. You were not getting anything. The vendors pretty much had the representatives hold everything for them. And then they realized that, before Obama, then they found out there was a bylaw on islands. You can't hold stuff in a store no matter what. You got to give it. You got to get it for the person. If they come in, we found out about the SKU number. You go into Toys R Us, you have them hit the SKU number. You go back, you get the Star Trek. I think it was Beverly Crusher, who everybody was ripping about back then in the late '90s. With Playmates, we got a few of her. That's all Star Trek Playmates. That's again another episode of dolls, figures. We're just gonna stay right now with the Hot Wheels. Like I said, I don't think anybody's got more. Maybe somebody has a better collection, like from start to finish. Some people are crazy like that. We never did get started until '95, and in '95, it was really tough to go back and get all of those early ones if you missed them. There were some. I mean, when Woolworths was around, I got some really, really old cars back then from there. It was hard to get old cars, but when I started to collect, I was going for the Hot Wheels Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, and it was chrome, and I just wanted to get all four. It said collect all four. I thought it would be no problem. It was an issue, and then I decided to get the I think it was the '97 first editions. I think that's when it hit. When I went to go get the Impala, and that's when I met the first vendor. Yeah, they're real nice guys until they don't get their car. Yeah, those guys needed to pay their mortgage, so you couldn't get a Hot Wheel. They did. They got them. You'd have to get it from them, and then you found out how hard it was. I managed to, friend a few, and then they, again, turn on you. So you realize what you're up against, and you now realize that you're up against such, you know, big group of people. They're defending their mortgages. I understand that, but these are toys. Hot Wheels made them to collect, and again, that's what led to the three color, the multicolor that we suggested that took off. That was great. I'm glad we helped Hot Wheels, and all used collectors are going fanatic over variations and things like that. That was great. That's great. So, like I said, we had problems. I had problems trying to just to collect a Hot Wheel. Well, come on, how hard could it be? You know, it tend to got hard. So we divulged a scheme. Scheme was to, for the life of me, I can't remember. We try to go back in time and remember. I am not sure if I read it somewhere that a person went to Hot Wheels and they made their own car, and that put the idea into our head to take a first edition, change it up, say that it was a giveaway thing that I read, and set this corruption, let's call it, into the vendor mindset. So as far as us, it was, how do you do it though? How do you I'll take the car out again. I've taken this out before, but it's been so long. This thing is so old and fragile now. It's not like we just did it last week. This was done way back. So I take this car out of the package right here, okay? And you could flop it around, do it. You could look at each side. I've told everybody, you look at that. This thing is legit. I could give this to anybody. You couldn't find out what we did. Put it under the X-rays, scan it. You can't find out what we did with this or how we did this. Now I'm going to tell you how this was done. That I don't. No one out there is going to figure it out. We gave it to them. Let the vendors have it. They looked at it and were shocked. And now I'm going to tell you how this was made. You take an X-Acto knife and you work on that corner and you get that blade. Let me get my glasses on here. Gotta see this. So you take your X-Acto knife and you get it in that paper and you slit that paper straight. That X-Acto knife will get right in there. And you get that blade right up into this corner. And in that corner right there, pop it through and work it all the way down the plastic and all the way up the side and work it all the way up that side and hold your fingers on it here and flip it up and get the car out. Now you have a package that could simply be put back together with the same process it was made. I'll explain. So now you take the car. So now you go get a couple of them, rip them out. So now you got the Chevelle. Rip the car totally apart. Okay? What you got to do is cut those rivets off. When you cut them rivets off, there's a hole into it. All you guys know, you could screw holes into it. But you could take a piece of threaded rod and glue it in and push it into that rivet to the point where it's not coming out. You put it in there, it's almost like steel again. You make that back up with the white interior in this Chevelle, press it all back together, and as I said, you got gold paint on the rivet. Okay? There's a little gold paint on that rivet, and having that in the package, you take a watery base Elmer's glue, very watery, You tap it all into that, and you put it into this, and leave it alone. You come back later, and you got a solid car in a package that after 20 some odd years, there's no deformed coloring, there's no strange anything. It is absolutely, as far as anyone could tell, here's the car. You'll never tell that that car right there has been out of the package. It was done so perfect. That's why we did this. We put it together, we went to the vendors and went, did you get this? That's all you had to do. Once you set a seed, they go crazy. So every vendor stopped what they were doing and went running after this car. Okay. So now, with that said, I'm going to move on to, now that I've explained everything about this car, why it was made, why we did it. We needed it to destroy the vendors. We had an issue. So this was our way to attack the vendors, and it worked well. So anybody doing one of these cars or doing it because they heard or seen, it's because of what we did, period. It's what we did. We made the car to destroy the vendors. Here it is right here. We were going around telling them it was like $140,000 Hot Wheel and stuff. And they actually believed it. All right? So sometimes you just got to be that way with the vendors. And with that said, let me move on to the next car. Okay, back again. GoPros. You know, they crash. So here we are. The Talbot Lago. What makes the Talbot Lago rare? The Talbot Lago was one of the cars that weren't issued to Walmart, Kmart, Target, KB, Service Merchandise. I think those were all toy stores back then, KB's, I think I mentioned them. They did not receive the Talbot Lago. And there was a bunch of other cars in here. We were all waiting for the Barracuda. I forget which one it was in the 98 series. I know it was a 98 series. We were all waiting for the Barracuda to come in. No, it didn't come. It didn't come as the first edition. We heard it was coming. We heard it. Yeah, we're waiting. Never came. Then we heard it was in another car case, and it was out. I also collected cars at Wall Bombs. Go figure. So I stopped into Wall Bombs. I saw a couple of cars. I grabbed them. I didn't think of it till later when somebody mentioned it to me. And I went. They had said, you know, the Talbot Lagos, they're rare. They're tough cars to get. So when I went into Walmart, I saw all the cars that I didn't have and grabbed them all up. Saw the guy in the back and went in the back and, you know, went through them. Got the cars I wanted. Probably should have got a lot more than what I did get. But back in 98, 97, 98, I assume Hot Wheels was going through some troubling times. I know that because we helped them out with the multiple color. In 99, I think that was the 3-color. And they had China do cars for them. All the cars here are from Malaysia. You look here to Malaysia. On every 72 car case, Malaysia. Everything's from Malaysia. Except these boxes. These are 36 car case boxes from China. You can see it right there, China. Okay? That was the case of Hot Wheels you wanted at Walmart. Okay? This is a case. Okay, that's why I have the cars, and I got 4 Talbot Lagos. The reason why the Talbot Lago's rare is it's the metric American conversion, design principles, and the machining that's used in the making. So when they made it, the laser etched the graph marks into it rather than removing them. It's an AutoCAD program. I know I draw on the computer. I draw 3D. I'm a computer graphics. I do the Tappan Zee. I've done the Tappan Zee Bridge. I do many big projects. The ultraviolet light disinfecting facility. I do major things. Okay, in 3D. So I know all about it. And they slipped up. And what happened is, if you notice this car here, you'll notice the fenders. Okay, and on the fender, I'm not sure if you could see graph marks. I'm just trying to get the light right. I think right there, I thought I saw it. On that fender in the black, there's squares. Okay? So, I hope you could see that. I'll have to go back and see it myself, but hope one of them views you could see that the fender. It's hard to see. It's going all crazy. This thing. I'll try it again for you and see. Do it slow for the camera. I don't know. I think I see them on there going back and forth on that fender. Yeah, and that light right there. You could see them on that fender. Okay. That rear fender's got graph marks on them. That is why it is a lot of money. It's an error. And it's the only car that came in these boxes that came at Walmart's. Nowhere else. Now, this is the box of Hot Wheels, and I'll break out some of them and show you what I mean that this was this weird case. Where are you? Alright, that's the other. Here's the Talbot Lagos. You see, so I have 4 of them, like I told you. Okay. So, I had a collector come in my house one time and see them, and I thought he peed his pants. Okay, this isn't the box that I wanted. One second. Strange, and it's not this one. Maybe it is. I'm not. No, I don't see them in here. Huh. Ah, it's over here. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me. Here we are with this case of Hot Wheels that I really wanted to show you. Okay, so put these here. Here we go. So these are the China cars. Okay, you kind of had the flame stopper. Okay, the flame stopper. Okay, that was one of them. Here's a major one. I got a half a dozen more maybe of these. The London bus. Okay, so that was in this case, that China case. Here's a car a lot of you probably wondering about. It's the Peugeot Rally. Okay, but you notice the 2 different colors, right? So, okay, one's pink and thing, one's chrome. Okay, so I forget which one was the China case. Okay, so let me put these back in here. Oh, I got another one here that'll remind most of you guys about these China cases. The London cab, London taxi. That was another cool one. London taxi. I got a bunch of them things. You know, and there was race car ones too, I believe, like the Camaro Wind. You know what I mean? Look at that thing. Whew! You want to talk about a wing? Look at that thing. The Vendor Fact 4. And that's a War Bombs sticker too. That little red sticker. Oh, here's one I liked. This was the old Mustang. The Mustang Cobra. That was a nice one, huh? That was a nice one. Mustang Cobra. What's this blue truck here? The old Ford Transit wreck. Kevin's 24-hour towing. And then there's the Chevy Stalker. Nice, huh? So that's the cars that were in here. You know, the old fat fended 40. You know, I forget what versions too. You know, these got some sayings and stuff. The tampos on them. I have no clue right now. I'm just doing this video real quick. The Mercedes 2.6. That was always a nice one. And these are the old cars. Nissan Custom Z. Here's a car that we all remember, the Demolition Man. Great movie, right? Service merchandise exclusive. So the GM Ultralight, they called it. You see? That's the car that Sylvester Stallone was driving in and crashed with Sandra Bullock, right? Here's the one with the San Indianapolis the police department logos on them. See, it's on the hood, on the front. See? That's the one that was at Service Merchandise. Okay? So, that's a rare one. Yeah, see if anybody's got a lot of them. I got a few of them. And these are cars that, you know, back then, they might have been $1, but the Corvette Stingray 3. All right. Some of them were 87 cents, you know. So it depends on where you were. The Pontiac Salsa. Remember that thing? That was pretty cool. And I got a whole pile of Porsches in here. There's that one, this one, this one. Not that one. Okay, so I thought there was another Porsche here somewhere. Probably find it later. But this is the 911. This is the 930. And I think I got this in a couple of colors. And the 959. Yeah, the 930's in another color. And there was another one. Ah, yes. The Targa. So there's a whole bunch of Porsches. The Ford XR XR4 Ti. Remember that thing? And my brother had one of them cars. An 80s Corvette with the opening hood. If you notice, the hood opens like the way it's supposed to for a Corvette. That's the one you want if you got an old Corvette. Smith Electric Land Rover Mark IV. There's another one. That's a cool one. Okay. So, you know, all in all, there was a bunch of really cool cars in this thing. I don't know if I showed you the Zender Fact 4. I might have. I'm not sure. Alright, so, you know, a lot of these are doubles of other cars. The Jaguar XJ40. There you go. That's a cool one, huh? Buick Wildcat. How about that one, huh? And another one of them freaky things. Oh, the Ferrari 308 GS, 308 GTS. So there's some pretty wild cars in here, I guess. And like I said, and the one I'm not showing you is the 57 T-Birds. I got it. There's so many in here, I feel as though it's like a car. I don't even have to show you, like everybody got tons of them, but I'm not sure. The one that I liked the best was the Mustang Cobra. That one, I'll take every day. I love that. I love Mustangs. Alright, so with that said, I'm going to end this one just to tell you all why the Talbot Lago is so rare, so hard to find. You'll be lucky to find one. If you do, get it. Don't be dumb. Get it. That's not a car that's going down in value. That's a car that's going to go up. And like I said, when you get one, like I got the 4 of them, but this one shows the graph marks perfect. So that's why this one I like the best. We kept it in the case. Another thing about these cars, again, I think I showed you and mentioned this in the first video about the Deadly Claw. Yeah, all the ones at Walmart. You got a clamp mark on it. I mean, if you got one, it got the clamp mark. If you got to it before a clamp mark, and you got the graph marks on there really good, you got it, bro. This one's hardly got a dink from the Deadly Claws, and the card is really good. Everything's fine. It's been stored away in this thing for a long time, rather safely protected. But yeah, the thing was the claw, that thing from Walmart, War Bombs, was the killer. So there's the story with this car that we put together to kill the vendors, keep them busy, spend their money, destroy them. Talbot Lago, now you know why the Talbot Lago is rare. Right here in this video, I'm telling you why it's rare. Came in these boxes only from China, limited amount. And yeah, you had to be smart to know where they were. With that said, I probably won't do another episode until after January. I have to work on something. And I'm going to leave it at that. With that said,